Alright, so I've started recording, and so you don't need to record your audio or anything like that, so it'll be fine. Or it'll be terrible, and we'll forget we ever did this and pretend like it never happened. But whatever. Alright folks, welcome to the Winning Sometimes Show, where Clint, Emiliano, and I talk about all things gaming, and tech. And you're probably going to hear a lot of that. For those of you who are on audio only, we are actually in-game right now. Me and Ronan are actually playing some Destiny. So yes, this is going to be our long-awaited Destiny show. And oh my gosh. For those of you who are on video, y'all are really going to get to see how terrible I am at Crucible. It's going to be fucking great. And Ronan just laughs. Oh god, I am on Blade. I did not set up anything correctly. Anyway.
Dude, I'm not that great either.
Yeah, so how you doing today, Ronan?
Good, you know.
Yeah, it's
I'm actually enjoying the game. Well, I don't know. I'm enjoying playing, I guess. Lately, you know, I've been playing a lot.
Okay, good to go. I have not been playing a lot. And I also probably should mention, Krakenfall is not able, Clint is not able to make it with us this weekend, so that's why it's just me and Ronan. But yeah, I have not been playing a whole lot. Like, I think I basically took the entire season of the Cabal, whatever that one was, like, off. I did not play that at all. So, I'm still very much so, oh my gosh, getting used to playing again. And so what, what is it, why are you playing more lately?
I don't know. Maybe like work. I'm finding a little more time to play.
What do you mean, like just... Because I know you had talked about previously how you played a lot of Genshin Impact because of like work and things like that, and it was really easy for you to do it like between... Oh, there's a lot of people coming at me. Between stuff. Is that still the case, or what's going on that you're playing more Destiny?
I don't know. I just maybe because of the changes they've made to like progression. Like it's no longer the 50 level grind. You know, I'm finding it just easier to play. Because before I felt like with Destiny, I'd play for like an hour, and sometimes it would feel like I would waste my time.
Like, because you wouldn't make any progression in that hour or something?
Yeah. And this, I've gotten to a point where it's starting to feel a little bit like that again. But, you know, because it's only like a 10 power climb, it's not as bad.
Gotcha.
You know, so it feels more rewarding to play.
Gotcha, yeah.
Yeah, because like...
The power grind is stupid, in my opinion. I hate it.
Yeah.
So I'm completely with you on that. Like, Destiny really needs to figure out what it is they want to do with the power grind and what it actually means. Because, in my opinion, the light level, the power level system is pointless. It is literally only there to like gatekeep, or whatever word you want to use, lock people out of certain content.
Yeah, I agree.
Also, like, man, hand cannons feel really different on console. But that's neither here nor there. Yeah, because for me, like I said, I took like the whole season of The Chosen off. I have not, like, I'm still doing like that 50 level grind because I didn't do it last season. And it sucks. And it's pointless because really all I want to do is play the raid. And, like, I can't because I'm sitting here stuck. And there's nothing wrong. Well, okay, there's lots of things wrong with Crucible. But there's nothing wrong with running strikes and things like that. I get that's core gameplay, but, like, I want to play the strike. And I can't because I'm like 20 levels too low. And I don't know, that's really frustrating to me.
Wait, which you don't pick the strike? You said?
The Vogue. I want to play Vault of Glass.
Oh, strike. Okay, you mean the
Did I say
raid.
strike? I meant raid.
You said strike. That's why I was like strike.
I'm trying really hard not to die over here, and I'm doing a terrible job at it, so I'm probably not going to make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I'm doing a terrible job at it also.
Wait until you see the scoreboard. I'm probably beating you out on the terribleness. But yeah, because like I appreciate the fact that they went to the 10 levels as the grind, as the actual power cap. But I think we've had this conversation before, just not on stream. I still don't understand what the point of them at all is. Like, you don't increase stats, you don't get new abilities as you get, as you gain light levels, anything like that. You just become less weak, like if that's a way of saying it. So
I mean, it's a way to it artificially extends gameplay.
oh yeah, absolutely, and that's what I think the whole point of it is they just need player engagement. They don't care if that engagement is like fun for the player. They just need them to be in there, which is frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems like for them content is, kind of pointless tasks.
Yeah, like I get that, and I guess it depends a lot on what you're calling pointless. In my opinion, yeah, the power grind is pointless. Like there's no reason for that to exist, and so yeah, pretty much every task is pointless.
3 minutes left.
I do appreciate that they brought back like strike specific loot, so like you can grind out for hung jury if you really want to. A scout rifle is not necessarily something I feel like is worth grinding out, but I know there's people that have like emotional attachment to it, so I do appreciate they did that. But grinding out a number is like I don't get it,
Yeah, but like, because I remember like the worst part of sorry,
you good.
of like the faction wars was being required to do like all these things, like 100 of this, 100 of that. That's what it felt like, and I don't know, like metric wise, it feels like Destiny wants you to do about like an hour to get any sort of power increase.
Yeah, that's I felt that when I first started playing this season, because I want to say I was running with I think Moss or somebody, and
You captured Zone A. You have advantage.
and we played Crucible we were playing Iron Banner, which oh god, Iron Banner. We were playing that for like 2 hours, and I mean I was like the minimum light level you can possibly be, and I still only gained like 3 or 4 levels, across 2 hours of just heinous Iron Banner play. And I've got 70 levels to go to cap. Like I don't think that gaining 1 or 2 per hour is really a good use of my time, but I don't know. Again, it's there to extend out the grind, which is dumb, but I don't know that we're going to get that to change anytime soon.
Yeah. So this is a surprisingly close game.
Yeah, we'd probably be crushing them if I wasn't playing.
30 seconds remain.
Ah, come on. Come on.
No, if I'm above 0.5 KD at the end of this, I'm going to be impressed.
Zone B lost. They have advantage. advantage.
And I know you're going to watch this video later and just completely make fun of me. And that's completely okay. But anyway, speaking of grinds, what do you think of the new transmog system?
You eat monsters for breakfast. You
I
can win a battle for territory. Again.
It definitely feels like a lot of the systems that the game has benefits people who like no life the game. I don't mean it like in a, who play the game a lot.
No, I completely understand what you're saying.
Because I don't like the new I don't like the systems in place to get the transmogs. But like, because I've been playing a lot, I feel like, I've gone through several of the bounties already.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels like, I'm playing and I'm actually getting the stuff. So, in one regard, it definitely feels like, it's not too bad, right? But I don't know. The idea of the getting every 2 minutes and stuff, and someone did the math of it and it was long.
It's like 126 hours minimum to max out. Yeah,
it still feels bad, but and I'm sure that if I weren't playing as much I would have a lot less, but because I've been playing a lot more, I've been getting a lot more, right? And then part of it too is, I don't know, like I've looked at all my characters, and like I'm trying to do looks now. So, and I've done like one look for each character.
Fashion end game.
And, yeah, and they each have like 7 or 8 transmogs left.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have stuff to spare to make, and I'll probably go through and make another look, kind of. So at the moment, playing and getting it doesn't feel bad, but the idea behind it, and the fact that they're selling it kind of does, I guess. So it's
yeah,
it's I guess 2 separate systems. There's the playing part of it, and it feels like the more you play, the game is geared that the more you play, the more you're rewarded, which I guess kind of makes sense, But like last season, I wasn't able to play a lot. And I felt I never did the Grandmaster Nightfall, and I wanted to, but I was never high enough light because I didn't play enough to get that high light.
And which loops us right back to what we were talking about earlier, where like it just locks you out of content that you want to play, and yeah. So one of the things I just showed on my screen, the synth strand, weave, cord, or whatever it is.
The 3 different,
Like, so let me make sure I check so I'm not lying to you. Okay, so I am level 22 on the season. So I haven't played a ton of this season or anything like that, but even with that, being level 22, putting in however many hours that is that I've played this season, I have 146 strand. So I haven't been able to, I've picked up the one bounty they gave you like for free to get it, and then since that I haven't been able to pick up a second bounty, and I'm 22 levels in. Like, it's the transmog system. For those of you who don't know how the transmog system works, you have to kill things to get sent some sort of freaking currency, and then you have to trade that for another currency, and then you trade that for a bounty, and then you do the bounty, and then you finally get a thing that you can actually transmog with. So it's like just way too many steps, and someone figured out that if you like, the drop rate on things is timed, so no matter what, it's going to take 120 hours to max out on things. And so here I am, I haven't even gotten one of these, 10 that we can get this season? These 10...
Well, 10 each.
10 each character. I don't know why I'm using my gun in Mayhem. This is probably going to be really loud on the audio. But yeah, so it's just a terrible system, in my opinion. Um, like it rewards people who play a lot, but I mean, I don't know. Like they need to change it. It is really bad optics, if nothing else. Like it looks super grindy to everyone, and that's because it is.
It is.
And I don't know how they thought they were gonna like not get a bunch of bad press for this after everything that has happened in the past couple of years with microtransactions and God, what was the game? EA Pride and Accomplishment.
Battlefront.
Is it Battlefront? I kept wanting to say
Battlefront 2?
Battlefield, and I couldn't remember. Nope.
Battlefront 2.
Yeah, stuff like that. Like I don't know how Bungie thought that this was going to be received well. So I don't know. Not exactly what I would say knocking it out of the park with the transmog system.
Yeah, no. I mean, it seems like a lot, but the and I'm sure that they planned it out.
What do you mean, or how so?
Well, I'm sure that they figured out like how long it would take, you know,
Oh, yeah.
and what they found acceptable for people. So.
Yeah, there's no way they would not know how long it's going to actually take, and they probably did figure it out. They probably, you know, looked at metrics and said like, oh, the average player plays this many hours during a season. And so, well, if they play like it's something like that, oh, the average player plays 100 hours a season, and so let's make it 125, so it's still, you know, an attainable goal, but they would have to intentionally try and play more than they normally do. So that's honestly what I think happened. And like from a business standpoint, I get it. Like it makes sense. They're trying to make money, and I don't hold that against them. But it's really kind of shitty, especially when you can like buy the transmog tokens or whatever for real world money. That's pretty crappy.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, it just feels like a lot of times they've done stuff that hasn't benefited the players.
Use it as a benefit to the players?
No, it has not. It has not.
Oh, has not benefited players. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, you look at things like the transmog system. You know, I don't think it's something players been asking for a very long time, but execution was less than optimal. Honestly, probably detrimental to players. You look at things like stasis. You know, people have been asking, saying, "Oh, we want new subclasses, new enemies, all this sort of stuff," and so they throw stasis out there, and that's been a complete and total train wreck for the PvE community, or excuse me, the PvP community at least. It doesn't affect me because I've always been bad at it. So being frozen and getting shot is just, you know, it's about the same.
Yeah, stasis has been train wreck. Give me a second. I'm gonna pull some more bounties.
Sure.
Because I like getting the weekly 8 bounty one. It gives you
yeah, the pinnacle or
dust.
Is it a pinnacle or is it a powerful?
No, it's the weekly powerful.
Okay.
Because the pinnacle is the 3 games, and the powerful is doing the 8 bounties.
Mm-hmm.
So. But yeah, and I remember I was talking, you know, just speaking of time, I remember I was talking with Mad Dog a little bit, like through messages and stuff, and he mentioned that he tried playing the game, come back to the game, but that he felt like he was doing the same thing he'd been doing like 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't have a draw for him anymore, you know, and like, I mean, if you look at it, like it does feel like we've been, you know, kind of doing the same stuff. now for
Yeah.
a while.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that.
Like I like the override. I feel it's fun. But I know there've been comments of people saying that it was supposed to be like a public event,
Yeah.
but that or that it'd be better with 3 people instead of 6. Because right now it's like not very challenging with 6.
Hmm.
Um, and other than like the seasonal activity, and not all seasonal activities have been that great. Like a lot, like haven't there been 2 cases where they've had to like buff the seasonal activity rate in order to get some sort of like community goal done? Otherwise, it would have
Oh
failed.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah. Like for God, the Dawning, and there was one other one. Oh, um, the shotgun.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Where yeah,
But
like
there,
the community had to do so many. It was the Warmind freaking season, which I hated that season so much.
I didn't really do that season. Like I skipped. I just pretty much checked out for that season.
I tried to do it,
Um,
like I really put an effort in to like participate in that one, but yeah, about halfway through I checked out on it as well.
yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, it feels fun to play Destiny, but the whole power grind thing doesn't feel fun, and some of these systems don't feel fun. You know, Actually playing the game, I find fun. And they do have a lot of like memorable um, things you can do. Like the dungeons are fantastic. The Deadman's Tale
Mm.
exotic quest is the Presage is great. The Hawk Moon quest is great. Those missions, um, and the new Expunge mission. Yeah, I like that. It's fun. And the aesthetics are great. Um, and I don't know. I mean, because you don't have to pay $10 for this season, right? And $10, I don't know. Like, does it feel fair to you for the amount of stuff we get? Because sometimes we get like more stuff than other seasons and stuff.
So as far as price goes on things, like that's the big question about all the seasons all the time is, is it worth it? And that's such a hard question to answer, because what kind of a player are you? Because like let's not kid ourselves. There's actually a ton of stuff to do in Destiny. The question becomes, is it stuff you want to do? Is it stuff you enjoy doing? Is it worth doing? And so, like, if someone tells me, like, personally, I think this season has been worth like the $10 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, I've liked it. I've enjoyed the story. I'm a very much so enjoying like the Mithrax thing. I'm not enjoying the fact that I've been frozen 6 times already, like in this match. But that's the thing. So I'm a PvE player, so I've liked, I like the fact that there's a raid this season, which I know I didn't have to buy to get, but
Yeah, but then again, like they took away a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah, exactly. They vaulted a lot of things. Dang it. And but if I'm a PvP player, like if that's my like jam, I don't understand how you justify buying a season, because I mean PvP is a mess right now. They haven't really done anything with it in a while, or at least nothing useful. So, I need to be using Arc. So if someone says like, I don't hold that against anyone. Someone says like, oh yeah, man, it's totally worth buying, and then the next person thinks it's complete and utter trash. I mean, that's fine. Like, I can see so many ways that you would hate this or love this. I think the one thing that like everyone can agree on is that the like moment to moment gameplay is good. Like the gunplay, the abilities, those all feel good. But it's just how they get put together that
Mhm.
may or may not be your jam.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I don't know.
Ouch.
See, like, and this is one of the things I'm talking about, like with PvP. I can completely understand why people think stasis ruined PvP, and I think it just has to do with the power creep that has occurred. But I just popped my super, and then a stasis super popped next to me, and it froze me. You know, and I just sat there while the guy like punched me to death, and that's not fun. I get that it's mayhem, and my super's gonna come back like real quick, like, but in a normal game, that would absolutely be terrible.
Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff.
Yeah. Ooh, that was not a good match for anybody on our team, apparently.
How many kills did I get on that one? 13. Okay, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna get out of that score screen there. We're not gonna say out loud what I actually did. No need. But yeah, I will like. So this is the one thing I guess that PvP has going for me at least, is that I'm bad enough at PvP that most times it doesn't matter. Like, if I get like frozen, if I get hit by some shuriken bouncing off the wall like 17 times, it doesn't bother me because I'm like, well, I'm kind of just here to get my bounties anyway, get my 3 games, whatever it is, happens to be. And so if I have like my 0.5 KD, which I normally do, it's not that big a deal to me because I know like I'm gonna be bad at it anyway, so it's whatever. Like, now, would it be great if it was less, like if it was more fun if I wasn't getting shot while frozen and things like that? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm able to look past a lot of that based on the fact that, you know, that's not the primary reason I play PvP.
Oh, I don't normally play PvP. I'm only doing it because of the pinnacle stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't enjoy it. I don't know. Maybe because I'm older. Maybe my reflexes are slow.
Wait, what are we? Oh, I was like, what are we doing? I thought we were
just-
still in
you-
PvP and I wasn't paying attention.
You said you had to do this one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we could do another game of PvP. I just, you know, because I'm close to getting the challenge done. I need 10 more mayhem kills, then I'll be done. But I don't know if you want to deal with that.
No, it's fine. This is fine by me. I just was surprised when I was like, what PvP map are we on? I haven't seen this one before. Oh, and I can't jump. That's not a surprise to anybody.
Are you here? Oh, you're right here. So you got to kill and pick up the little thing.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna take everything because I know you need stuff. Oh jeez, come on. Go.
Oh, I've got no special ammo now. Yeah, so I don't know. I would like to see them do something about like with PvP, which I think wasn't the last TWAB. I don't hardly read the TWABs anymore, but didn't the last TWAB talk about it?
Yeah, it sounds like they're doing a lot to rein in PvP.
And
Like,
I mean,
a lot.
I'm glad that they are, because the PvP community has been like so neglected since, well, pretty much since Beyond Light came out. And so
Yeah, but like, who is the PvP community? Is it streamers or? Because I don't know. I just feel like a lot of the systems we have in place are for the streamers, the people that play Destiny. You know, 24/7,
like professionally.
You know,
And
like it's their job
that's a
to play.
valid criticism. I will accept that. But I do know there's a lot of and I really don't, I'm not trying to be a dick to anyone here, but like, I don't know how else to phrase this. There's a lot of people that would fall into like what you, I guess, would be like the try hard category. You know, like they like being the guys that do trials carries and things like that. And while I'm not, I don't really care about any of that. I don't care.
Shit, I jumped the wrong way. I'm gonna die.
Like, I don't see how that's necessarily like fun and anything like that. Just like doing those sort of things. But like, I get it. There should not be something that is just absolutely ruining the game for them. In the same way, like, I don't think that they should, you know, cause something, nerf something in PvE that ruins how some people play the game. Like, this is way back, but when they changed the World Line 0, how people couldn't use it for like the movement buffs and things like that. Like, that affected the speedrunning community, because that was like one of their best, like their favorite strats was to use World Line 0 to move around. And so there was no other reason for them to do that. It wasn't breaking the game in any way other than like, oh, people are moving around too fast, let's get rid of that. And it dumped the speedrunning community, and I think that kind of sucks. So if Stasis is doing the same thing for like the PvP folks, the people that mainly play the game for PvP, I think that they should like that's not cool. I know I did not formulate that in a really well thought out way, but that's my thoughts on it. I'm sticking to it.
Because I mean, stasis is fun in PvE, you know, but you know, and I've heard the comment made that Destiny is like a movement game, and you know, in competitive, you know, in player versus player, getting frozen for so long just feels bad.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, dang it!
You know, because there's no counterplay to it. You know, there's no, like, you can't do anything.
Yeah, I agree that, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with the like, oh, Destiny is a movement based game or whatever. I don't know that I agree with that 100%. But I definitely understand where they're coming from on that. And yeah, like being frozen, especially in like PvP, that sucks. Like, I don't want that for anyone. Well, okay, maybe some people, but no one I actually like, you know. And so, and I think because I'm not gonna name any names, but I was playing with some people last week, and they were talking about, it's like, oh, well, you know, if you just put on stasis, apparently your KD just goes up by, you know, 5 or whatever. And I'm like, that's not the thing. That's not what people are complaining about. They're not complaining that stasis is overpowered and causing people to get like 15 KD in a single game or something. I'm not saying that people aren't complaining about that, but that's not the main complaint. It's that it's no fun. Being still in a, you know, in this kind of game is not fun. And I have not used an ability yet. I don't know why. So, I completely, like, I commiserate with the people who feel like PvP has been ruined. Like, I definitely don't have the, I don't know what you want to call it, street cred, whatever, the PvP chops to really comment on that necessarily, but I completely understand why people are saying it.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway. I don't even know.
Breach and clear is a ridiculous mod, dude.
What?
Breach and clear?
Yeah, no,
I just.
That's all. I was clearing ads, and I just turned around. I was like, wait a second, where?
Yeah, I basically, you know, God, what is this gun? I always forget what this gun is called. I anarchied him twice, and I novaed him, and that was it.
Nice.
Because the breach and clear debuffs them, which is, it's so powerful. 317. Okay. That's
Yeah,
good.
so that actually brings up a kind of good point. You talking about like the seasonal mods and things like that. Um, Destiny, or excuse me, Bungie with Destiny has always kind of had this philosophy, and they've said this out loud, where they want each weapon type to kind of have its like moment in the sun or whatever. So like with Destiny 1 and the beginnings of Destiny 2, that was a lot with like sandbox changes where SMGs would be strong this season and then auto rifles would be strong for like the next 3 years or whatever, right? This is my personal take on it, and you can tell me how I'm wrong. I feel like what they're trying to do now, because like people have said like this is the season of the grenade launcher. And I feel like what they're trying to do is, well,
Let's do one more game of Mayhem.
oh, okay.
I just want to see if I can get those 10 kills.
I thought the game dropped, and I was like, oh, that's not good.
Oh yeah, you still have an old X. Like, and I think part of the reason why I'm playing more
It's
is
because it
of
loads
Series
quickly.
X. I just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's
and
it
I want to
looks
talk about
great.
this in a minute, but I play a lot on PC. But no, the seasonal mods, and I'm gonna blame, just so everyone knows, I'm blaming my PvP performance on the fact that I have to use a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard. Just take my word for it that like I'm a freaking god with mouse and keyboard, and I just suck on controller. That's my official stance. Don't ask for proof though. And I keep getting myself off topic. Oh, the seasonal mods.
Seasonal mods.
What do you think about them using that, going kind of the seasonal mod route to put weapons in the spotlight rather than like major sandbox changes?
See, I feel like this kind of goes in a conversation because this is talking about mods because they're using mods to kind of do this. And one thing that I'm not a huge fan of are the champions as much. I like that they're more challenging, but it seems like they kind of force you to double primary, you know, or in this case, a grenade launcher because of the overload. There's a mod you can get that'll stun champions. So I don't know, but I always feel like in the past, like running a nightfall or harder content, you have to, I need a hand cannon and a scout in order to do shields and unstoppable. And I don't know, because I feel like that's also kind of limiting your play a little bit too. I mean, I like that grenade launchers are kind of like big this season. And these combinations are really good. Like Anarchy is really shining because of it, and because it does takes the damage. But the champions, I don't know. Like I ran a presage, and it's like I had to be sure I needed something for shields and I needed something for unstoppable. Because if you don't, they become a pain.
Yeah.
To deal with. Like they can kill you so easy. So I don't know. I like that they're focusing, but I guess I'm still thinking about how I feel about champions.
Yeah.
It feels great. It feels great to stun them. But like, yeah, and maybe it's more LFG because when you're an LFG, when you're doing like an LFG Nightfall, you have to make sure that you have your stuff because you can't rely on the person that's in your party because you don't know them. But like in a group, I think it's a little easier because you say, oh yeah, I'll take care of shields, I'll take care of overload, kind of thing. So maybe LFG I don't like it as much, but when I'm in a group, it's a lot easier because you can coordinate better.
Yeah, and actually, you bring up a really, really good point there as far as like the LFG and champions and things like that, because in my opinion, like I don't like champions. Like I'll go ahead and throw it out there. Like I don't like champions. I think like the concept of champions is kind of good, but their execution is just kind of meh. But if they're gonna have champions the way they are, where it requires like a specific loadout to defeat them, personally, I think those should only be in like pinnacle type activities. It should, like, if you're gonna have champions, it should only be in like the nightfall, like, you know, it shouldn't be in normal, like, because there's champions in the freaking whatever the thing is that we have to do every week with like the Spicer Gauntlet, the seasonal activity. Not Expunge, but the other one. Well, whatever. But there are champions in that, and I don't know, like, I don't feel like you should be required to have every mod that you know, may not have unlocked at the beginning of the season to try and do some sort of content like that, because you can't count on like this other guy in your team to have it, and you can't coordinate with them. So I don't know. I think if there's gonna be champions, that it's got to be like really, really focused, and I don't think you just need to be throwing them everywhere. That's my personal opinion, though.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, is it that is Destiny isn't challenging enough if it doesn't have that?
So,
you know,
this is my thing, and I've been saying this for a while. If we want Destiny to be challenging, which I am all for, if you want Destiny to be challenging, have it be challenging. A-okay with that. Why don't we just have like normal, hard, very hard, or whatever they like fancy words they want to use for it, right? Why is that not in this game? You know, why does, for raids, why does contest mode, why is that not a toggleable option? You know, why, if you want, because I don't want to do hard mode raids, but I know like you ran hard mode raids all the time.
No,
and,
I don't do hard mode raids all the time.
Yeah, because they don't exist anymore. But that's the thing, like, I think, like, the end of Destiny 1, like, the raids were, I know a lot of people were running them because, like, the loot just, like, rained from those events, and I don't think that's necessarily has to be the case. But raids should have, like, an option to make them harder, an option to make them more casual, and I kind of think that every activity, or most activities, should be like that. Because if you think about something like Halo, which again was a Bungie game, why don't we have like the skull system, where you have the ability to change modifiers in a specific game? You know, that, I mean, in my opinion, that's a really great system. Like, it should make an appearance in friggin' Destiny for all the PvE content. Now, for PvP, obviously, there's only so much you can do there. Like, it's gonna be what it is, because you're playing against people and not computers, so you can only make it so hard. Or so easy, whatever. I need it easier. That's really what it is. So, I don't know. I wish there was a simple solution to it, but I don't think there is, because I'm guessing that is a coding issue into it. I feel like there's probably something with the game engine that prevents that from being a simple fix. But I don't know.
Oh man, I am missing all my Nova bombs. That was horrible.
Missing a Nova bomb,
Oh gosh, I need 6 more. All right, I'm close. I'm gonna grind it out.
All right.
You ready? You ready for this ride?
Oh, I'm so ready for this. Oops. Yeah, 0.2 KD. That's what I'm looking for.
So did you try the BOG raid?
No, I've not been in the raid, and that's the thing I'm complaining about. Like you were saying, Mad Dog was saying how it was kind of the same content over and over again. as someone who skipped last season, and so like right now, actually let me check the good old dim here. The highest power level I can get to is 1285, and that's after me playing for, like, I've played since week 1. I haven't played a lot, but I've been trying to play consistently and get my powerfuls each week and things like that, and like I can still I mean I can't effectively do the raid. I'm 18 levels under light or whatever, excuse me, 15 levels under light. And so no, I've not gone into the raid, and that is ridiculously frustrating to me. You know, I loved Vault in Destiny 1. It was great. That was, you know, obviously the first raid that we ever had. So there's a lot of nostalgia with it, but overall I also think it's just a really good raid. And I want to run it in D2, but I also don't want to be that guy that's like, hey guys, I'm like 20 like levels under light. You want to carry me through this? Like that, nah. I don't want to be that guy.
You know, I don't think I ever played a lot of VOG in D1. I came into D1 during Christmas for Dark Below. And I remember my first Crota clear was sitting behind a wall and shooting it in order to distract some knights.
Oh, yeah, doing the cheese, so the boomers were shooting. Yeah.
Yeah, that was my, and it was not enjoyable, you know?
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I understand how that would suck. I will say my first Vault of Glass.
I went the wrong way. Gosh. Darn it.
My first Vault of Glass clear was definitely involved me going to orbit and coming back, because they were trying to teach me the jump, and like for whatever reason I absolutely could not do it. And then finally, after we got past that, someone finally showed me. It's like, dude, you're a blade dancer, right? You know you can just like blade dance across, right? It's like, oh, well, that would have been good to know before I got super frustrated. But anyway. Yeah, it's, I don't know. Like, I don't like when people cheese the raids because of that, like because of what you said, how it makes it less fun for people. But at the same time, I understand that people want to get like their day 1 loot or whatever, or you know, their week 1 emblem or whatever happens to be, and so they're finding the cheesiest ways possible to do that. So, meh, not my jam, but I don't blame people that do it.
Gosh, I'm missing. I think I only killed one guy. This is horrible.
Am I doing better than you? I am doing better than you. Oh, now that I've said it out loud, I'm gonna jinx it.
I need super kills. Just let me get super kills. There's one. Oh no. Let me see. Oh my gosh. That's great. Spawn in on a super, getting super in the face.
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of mayhem. Sometimes you just respawn into someone's Dawnblade coming at your face.
Okay. I need just one more. That was good.
So, one of the other things that I was wanting to talk about, and I kind of wanted to hear your thoughts on, were crossplay. Have you, because I know, weren't like the strikes or something this week cross-playable? I don't know what the right word for that is.
Oh shoot, I never tried that. Is that still active?
I don't know. That's I was hoping you would know, because I did not do my homework on this.
Yeah, I didn't do the homework either.
But I know you have the Xbox One X, One S, whatever it is, Xbox Series X. There we go. I wish Xbox had any kind of naming system that made sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on crossplay that's going to be coming out, I think, next season? Are you kind of looking forward to that? Is it going to affect you at all? Is it just something that doesn't really matter?
I could not ask for a better victory.
I think it's going to be fun because I know some people don't have Xbox Series X,
Mm.
and I know some people who completely switched over to PC. So I feel like it's going to be good, you know.
Do you? Because I know, like, me and Crack primarily. Well, we primarily play on PC, but outside of that, like, I don't know. Maybe I know you kind of run in a different time zone or whatever. I think like Bizen plays on PC some. Bizen and Lefty, but outside of that, like, I don't think I have a whole lot of people that I run with on PC that also have Xbox. So honestly, I don't know how much of a difference it'll make for me personally. So,
Well, I mean, you say that you don't, you mess up with the controller and stuff. This way, you'll be able to play like with me on your PC, and I'll play on my Xbox Series X.
true, absolutely. And like, I think that's going to be cool. Like for those, kind of moments like that, like playing with like you or Moss and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be really nice to play on PC and y'all can be on Xbox. But like, again, I think for me, the majority of my playtime, especially since I can't get in the raid, is solo queuing for things. So, and I probably should have said that before I said I didn't think it was going to affect me very much. But for solo queue players, other than having like a larger player pool to pull from when you're loading into strikes or whatever, especially if you live, if like, you're in Southeast Asia or something like that, and you sometimes have hard times matchmaking. That's the only way I think it's going to affect solo players. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be cool. Like, it's going to be really nice to, assuming I ever get up to light, to run raids on PC with my Xbox friends. But day to day, I don't see it being a huge thing. I'm super glad it's happening. I really think industry-wide that should be the standard. Like, I really feel like you buy a game on any platform, it should be a priority of every developer and every platform to make it compatible across platforms. But that's not exactly how we do things.
Well, I know Sony's is kind of, I don't want to say against it, but like that whole Epic Apple court trial. They basically said that it doesn't benefit them, so they want extra money for it.
Yeah. And no, I definitely think Sony is against it. I think Sony is all about the exclusives and trying to lock people into their platform and everything like that. Did you get a PS5?
No.
Okay.
But I might once the new Horizon Zero Dawn game comes out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Because
go ahead.
Looks good. Looks really good.
Yeah, again, like I was saying, I've never played Horizon Zero Dawn, but you and Clint talking about it kind of makes me want to. Just to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, like we said, it's not that it doesn't revolutionize really, but it tells a dang good story, and the gameplay just feels nice and like really well done. So
yeah, so sounds a little bit like Destiny. Doesn't tell necessarily a overwhelming story or anything like that, But over gameplay, moment to moment, very well done.
Well, I mean, no, because Horizon Zero Dawn has good gameplay, but also great moment-to-moment stuff and a great story that's told, in game, not have to read it outside a game.
So that is one thing I will give the last 2 seasons a whole lot of credit on. Like, this has probably been the best in-game storytelling that we have ever had. And I realize that's a super low bar to clear, but they've cleared it. So I don't want to end up regretting this statement, like 6 months from now. But legitimately, like, the story team, like, good job for Bungie's story team on incorporating that into the game. I think they're doing a great job, and that's a really ugly ship. And I hope they continue doing that sort of stuff and doing the things they're doing, putting it in game, making it accessible for everybody, because it's been really good. Like,
yeah. I mean, and there's still stuff in lore, like you'd mentioned about, how could we welcome some of these Elixni that had killed us prior, and like they haven't really touched on that in game, like with any of the voice acting or anything like that too. But I read an article somewhere that was talking about how it's kind of in the it's in the lore, because there's talking about like Drifter talking to some of them about killing us, and so yeah, I don't know, like it definitely feels like they've done good,
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think they've struck a pretty good balance of having the main story in game, but if you want those background details, having that in like lore tabs and things like that. And the reason I say that is because, unfortunately, up until kind of this point in Destiny, up until like the past few months, 6 months, something like that, like there was a whole bunch of story going on in the background, and there's no way, like I don't see any feasible way they could bring all of that into the actual game, into cutscenes, voiceovers, everything like that. And so a lot of that kind of subtext or anything that's been going on in the background, they're kind of continuing, but just pushing the main story to the front and kind of trying to minimize things that you have to necessarily like read in a lore tab or go to Ishtar Collective or whatever to read. So I don't think they could have. You just bumped into me. I don't think they could have done a. I don't think there's a few things I think that I would like to see in the main story, but I think they've done a really good job overall integrating all the story bits into their respective spots that actually make sense.
I agree. Like I'm really interested in Crow now, and I like how they changed him from like a whiny, I don't know, like sister complex guy into kind of what he is now, So yeah, I mean, I hope they keep it up. I hope they can keep it up. Because they've done a good job with it, I feel.
Yeah, there's, and I guess this wasn't necessarily something I intended to talk about, but like, as far as story, right now we've got Mithrax and things like that going on. Have you read any of the like leaked lore or whatever, how someone's data mined the lore tabs for the rest of the season?
Oh no, I haven't. Have you?
Maybe. I kind of fell into the same trap that Esteban did. So I'm one of the people that, like, when the season starts, I will let, people like Bife or Mylan or whoever like run through the first mission, and then I just watch the cutscenes. So I'm like, oh, this is an interesting season, and then I go out and read the lore books, because normally you go onto Ishtar Collective and the lore book is already there by the end of the first or second day. So I read the entire lore book, and then I didn't realize that it wasn't supposed to be all out at once. It was supposed to be, you know, like every page of the lore book was supposed to be released each week, and I didn't realize that at the time. So yeah, I know how the story pans out throughout the season. So I guess, I am the fire team leader.
Yeah. What do you want to, like, I've done my stuff. What do you...
I have no idea. But so yeah, I know how the story this season ends. So I'm kind of curious, what is your prediction on how you think the story's going to end?
I mean, it definitely sounds like Lakshmi is gonna do something, and I read some lore, or I read an article about some lore, how like the different faction leaders are trying to get together to basically kick out Zavala and Akora.
Okay.
And put in their own people, that are more loyal to their cause. And I guess there's a lore tab with Lakshmi, the FWC one, and Jalal.
Lakshmi is FWC. Are you talking Dead Orbit?
Or I'm sorry, no. Jalal's Dead Orbit. The other one.
New Monarchy.
New Monarchy.
Yeah, I said Dead Orbit, even though in my head I was looking at New Monarchy.
Gambit. Okay, cool. Yeah, it was them talking, and Jalal like saying, what do you want to do, kind of thing, and yeah, they want to institute their own, their own vanguard leaders that agree with them about getting rid of the Elixir. So I don't know. I like how it's bringing these kind of like, I don't know, kind of real world into this game world, so it feels more resonant, I guess, but it's not like so heavy-handed,
Gotcha.
Because like they both make good points, although Lakshmi looking into the future, I don't know, that's problematic,
So
but, okay, so you asked how I think it's going to end. I mean, I know it can go several ways. Like I feel her vision is basically the Elixir trying to save things, and I'm betting that Lakshmi and the faction guys do something to cause whatever's that cataclysm is, or whatever that war is, and it's us to try to stop them, and with the help of the Elixir, basically. That's what I think.
Okay.
So how that plays out, I don't know. So there's that, but then there's also us trying to stop the Vex. So I don't know though. Like, does Bungie have the resources to do both, or is it all just going to be like in cutscenes or whatever?
That's a really good question. Like that's actually a legitimate point. Because again, I know kind of how the story ends, but I'm trying to think how to phrase it. Like, you can have the absolute best story and completely ruin it because of the way that it's executed, the way that you deliver it. And you can have spectacular delivery with a crappy story and it still be good. So yeah, that's actually a really good question, because Bungie could still take a really good story and like fumble it at the 1 yard line or whatever, So
does everyone know that Crow's back? They all do, right? Or
what
is
do you
it still
mean?
kind of secret?
Oh, like
That Crow's a
in-game?
Guardian. Yeah.
As far as I know, yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure. Like everybody in game understands that Crow or Aldrin or whatever is now Crow. Even though in my game he's still standing there with his mask on because I never completed those quest lines, but whatever.
Yeah, it's funny too, because like on my Hunter and Titan, I never did the storyline with them. I never finished it with them. So like I can't do the war table stuff. It's all like,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I haven't completed on anything, so yeah, it's yeah, not even my main character can do that, so oh well. But yeah, and now this may be something, I don't know why I didn't shoot that guy, but this may be something that you know more about than me. When does this season end?
Oh, I don't know exactly why.
Oh, because I'm just curious, because I know the next like major expansion is supposed to be Witch Queen. And I can't remember if that's supposed to come like directly after this season or if there's going to be another season in between.
Yeah, that I don't know.
I feel like just based on like timelines and where we are in the year and things like that, and you know the major releases are normally fall releases. I feel like this is the last season before Witch Queen, but I'm sure that's definitely something I should have like looked up before. But whatever.
But why are you
Because I have some thoughts on what I think is going to happen during Witch Queen and what it's going to be about. I have some hopes about what I think is going to be in Witch Queen, and I didn't know if there was going, you know, I can't remember if there's going to be another season to kind of set things up for Witch Queen or not. Because I think everybody's kind of in agreement that Witch Queen is going to be about Savathun.
Which it's gonna be about what?
Savathun. You're aware of Savathun, yes?
No.
Oh, really?
Oh. What about Sabatine?
Savathun, Oryx's sister. Are you familiar with her at all?
I feel maybe like I read some of the lore books, but
okay, so this
sure.
probably goes to one of those things that they should have. Well, actually, this has been in game to an extent. Savathun's song. Like, do you remember? Man, this was back in like Forsake, not whichever one the moon was haunted, whatever expansion that was. How Shax talks about how Eris Morn was humming a song to her, and then like later in like the next season, Eris Morn, or maybe the same season, you tell her, or our ghost tells her about the fact that Shax was humming a song, and she hums it. It's like, that's Savathun's song, and he needs to move that Ahamkara skull away from where he sits and all sorts of stuff. There's a bunch of lore books about how Savathun may or may not be corrupting people around, like in the Vanguard and things like that. And then even in like the latest lore entries for this season, like one of the cool ones that I really liked was there is a binary code that when you decode it, like decodes to the letters corresponding to the notes in Savathun's song. So like it goes like A, C, D, D sharp, whatever for Savathun's song. And that's like a transmission from Lakshmi, so it's like maybe Lakshmi has been corrupted by Savathun, and
ooh, wow.
Yeah, like there's a lot of craziness going on with that. So everyone has kind of agreed that Lakshmi, not Lakshmi. That would be cool if Lakshmi was the big bad and Witch Queen, but everyone's kind of agreed that Savathun is most likely going to be the big bad in Witch Queen. So it's really interesting. Like, if you have a chance, go to like Mylan Games or whatever, and he has, I think his like actual latest video is about how Lakshmi may be corrupted by Savathun. So, and that's everybody. If y'all are interested in the lore at all of Destiny, Mylan has a couple of really good videos out lately that, all of his videos are good, but that specifically speak about Savathun, like his last couple ones are about it, so.
Misadventure. What the heck? Sorry, I just got like booped by his shield or something.
Nice. So yeah, I know that was a really big detour into like whatever I just said, the lore. But where the heck is this guy going? But yeah, I'm excited. I think I know I've said a lot of negative things about Destiny, like with PvP and everything like that. But out of all the things that are going on with Destiny, I think the story has probably got the most going for it right now. So anyway, so as we bring down this primeval, what are your overall thoughts? Like, if you had a friend who was thinking about picking up Destiny, what would you tell them if you had a friend that was like, oh, I'm thinking about getting Destiny?
Gosh.
What would you tell them?
That's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, but
I don't know. Like, I'd almost. I definitely don't feel like it's good to newer players, just because, there is like a lot to try to do, and there's like a long road to leveling up. But then for like long-time players, it feels like there isn't enough to do, I guess. So it's kind of a weird,
yeah.
Like, I feel if you've never played it, I don't know. I don't know if I would be willing to invite someone into it. Like, there are other games that I feel are better,
At the very least, more approachable.
Yeah.
Okay, like,
I don't know. Would you like try to get someone new into it?
So, yes-ish. And this is what I would say, as far as like getting a new person into it, is it's free to play. Like, the base game is free to play, and so like say, hey, try it out. If you like it, great. If not, it's free to play. Didn't waste anything. But the thing, like, I would explain to him is like, hey, jump in there, go through like the intro quests, which the new light quests are actually pretty decent. They give you a general idea of what's going on there. But outside of that, ignore any story, ignore anything else. Just run some strikes, some crucible, some gambit, get a feel for the game, and then if you like it, find someone who has played the game for a long time and have them condense down like your to-do list for what to do. And I'm sure there's probably like a Reddit guide out there every season someone throws out saying like, hey, if you're new to the game, this, right? So I think that absolutely I would if someone said they were into it, like for instance, Rachel's brother he said he saw me playing it and he was like, hey, should I jump into it? I was like, hey, it's free to play. Grab the game, check it out if you like it. And if you like it, let me know. I'll play with you. I'll go through some stuff and kind of explain a few things to you. In that sort of scenario, absolutely. I think new people should pick it up. A new person like off the street with no one there to help them, that's a hard sell. Like if someone's just in like GameStop or whatever, or no, well, whatever. You get my point. Like if someone's in a game store or whatever, or on an online forum, they're just like, hey, should I pick this game up? And I'm never going to see that person again. I probably tell them, you might want to find a different game. Pick some other first-person shooter. Wait for Halo to come out, whatever. Or that maybe that's not a good decision either. But I definitely think that it's hard to recommend it to someone that's not going to have a guide. That's kind of where I land on that. So somewhere definitely in the middle, qualifying all my statements.
Yeah, because like for me the problem is, like, does someone want to invest the time? Because Destiny at this point is the game that you have to spend time with, and like Horizon Zero Dawn, single player game. I know it's a totally different beast, but like I can step away from that and come back to it and be okay. Whereas with Destiny, I feel like if you step away, you're penalized for that. And you're kind of penalized for not playing a lot,
like for instance, if you look at my light level versus yours, and that's me stepping away for one season.
Yeah.
So,
do you play on all three characters or just one?
Just one.
See, like last season, I only played on one really, and I couldn't get to the cap. This season, I've started doing the weeklies on all of them, and they're all about even. So I probably will hit the cap this season, but it's very grindy, It's fun, and I like the different weapons, but I don't know. It feels like they're relying also a lot on kind of D1 nostalgia, it seems like. Although maybe not. Maybe just because VOG is here, But like VOG, it's pretty much the same. I like the small changes they've done, but it's like the same raid, Same pathways, like the architecture hasn't changed. Maybe enemy placement, some of the oracles and how you do some of the mechanics have changed. But it's like the same. It looks beautiful, on the Series X. But like, Fatebringer's back,
Yeah.
And it just...
I cannot get Vex Mythoclast again.
Oh, yeah. Well, so we cleared it on Monday, right? And then we beat it 1.5 on Tuesday. We beat it once and we went through again, got stuck on the boss. And then on Wednesday, we beat the boss again, got stuck again. And then on Thursday, we finished it the third time. So yeah, I've already beat it all 3 times this week on the characters. And it's definitely...
Nice.
It's a nice intro raid, I feel like. Because it's not very mechanics heavy. Well, I don't know. It kind of...
So...
Like, do you know the changes that have happened with it?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I like it because you have roles, and I really like the raids that have roles, where someone is like the relic bearer, someone is the oracle shooter, like I don't know what and someone is the order caller outer or whatever, I like having those roles set. I think that's a good thing. Like that's one of the things I liked about Leviathan. There was definitely some of that role sort of stuff, like when you're doing the gauntlet, you had the runner, you had the plate shooters or whatever. I don't know what any of these roles are actually called, but or you had like everyone had a specific war dog that they were assigned to shoot and things like that. So I really like raids that have those roles in them. So yeah, and DSC, Deepstone Crypt had that as well. So I really like that, as opposed to something like King's Fall, where it's like, okay, everyone does the exact same job just in a different place. Like I'm not as big a fan of that.
Well, their raid game has definitely gone up. Like Crota was like stand here and watch one guy do stuff for the most part. That was in boss. Although I still would like to see Crota brought the D2, like that thrallway run to the lanterns. Oh man, I love that. Like just it's so dark and oppressive and just waves of the enemies. I don't know. Like I like that. Like I like that way too. Because even the bridge part, it's very interactive. Where you're sending people across, and you have to hold both sides. Yeah, the one thing was like the Crota fight got very like everyone's standing on this plate and the one guy with the sword's over there doing the thing. But like Crota was my first Destiny raid, and it wasn't VOG. So, I don't know. And when I first did the sword, oh man, what a rush. Like that was one of my favorite experiences when when I took the sword and I did the thing, So yeah, I would like to see Crota come back. I don't know. I'd like to see Wrath of the Machine come back,
Right.
Siva and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of people
like,
were hoping this would be the season of Siva, but
yeah, I remember the Twitter stuff. So how do you feel about them bringing a lot of the old stuff back? Because they brought a lot of exotics back. I like that. Like this season, we've gotten a lot of new and powerful exotics. That Titan, freaking chest piece with the arc, Superman. That thing is so crazy. The hunter pants that they had to nerf or that they had to disable for the raid. Shoot, I want that.
yeah. Well, and they disabled those pants because they were bugged, but not just because of the raid or anything like that. But
Destiny, I think they got more ambitious, but just the bugs have been
absolutely.
Have been.
So on the D1 nostalgia thing, I think it's hard to give a good answer on that, because if they are recycling Destiny 1 content so that they can have for this season, like the recycling the raid and all that sort of stuff, so that they can have their team work on things like the story or make Witch Queen just be this massive expansion or whatever. If that's why they're recycling a lot of that content, that's fine. That's cool. I am A-okay with that. If that content is being recycled just because they're like, we simply don't have the manpower or the time to do that and literally anything else, that is... to me, that's problematic. I have no problem with them bringing it back. I like the fact that they did it where it's like free to a lot of people. So I think that's good, but yeah, I just I don't know. I don't necessarily have a problem with it, but because they're recycling so much content, freaking Witch Queen better be awesome. Like that. I guess that's my caveat on that. So,
I mean, yeah, VOG is big, and I like that it's there free because they took away a lot of the other free raids.
mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
Um, but I definitely like there, the two things, like the things we've gotten this season that's new is the override, which
Mm-hmm.
I love the aesthetics, the expunge mission, which I also love the aesthetics. Um, and I'm loving the story.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I actually like how they're doing the engrams this season now. How you kind of have to choose between upgrading the gauntlet and
Mm-hmm.
focusing. Um,
Yeah, I
like
just don't
I
focus, but whatever.
yeah, like I want to upgrade mine completely before I start focusing.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like what I plan to do. Um, so I guess, and each season kind of has the same thing too, where we'll have maybe like one new mission we replay
Yeah.
and one new activity, you know. Um, but for me, definitely like the story has been, I'm loving the story right now, kind of where it's going. Um,
Yeah,
I kind of wish,
I was gonna say, I definitely think that like there's a lot to like. There's definitely a lot to like. And it's on the upswing. I hate to say that because I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like it's on the upswing, so that's good. So yeah, there's a lot going right for sure. Um, but I just realized how long we've gone on this, and so
how long has it been?
we're at like an hour and 20 minutes at this point.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, see, like, and that's, because three matches of like Crucible take what, about 15 minutes each?
yeah, and I'm actually hang on, let me look at so hour and 20 minutes, and I could probably go back through the VOD to look at this, but and this is just me complaining again. I've gained 2 light levels, I think 1 light level maybe. Yeah, 1 light level during that time period. So Bungie, power grind, fix it. Hey.
Well, I thought that like the optimal way to grind would be like to do either Crucible or Strikes, right?
Mm.
Because the blues there are will get you to 1300. At least
Yeah,
they should.
yeah. Well, they've actually slowed that progression down though. But
Did it?
anyways,
See.
that's a topic for a different day because we need to go ahead and wrap this up. Again, if people have made it this far into us rambling about Destiny and things like that, appreciate you. Thanks. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you do like the subscribey thing. Like it if you liked this episode. I know there's people that are listening to audio only. I highly encourage you to check out the YouTube. It is just Winning Sometimes show on YouTube, because you're going to see some spectacular PvP play from me. It's going to be missed shots all over the place. It's, man, chef's kiss, let me tell you. But you can catch us on social media. We are Winning Sometimes Show pretty much on everything, the Twitters, all that sort of goodness. It's W Sometimes Show on Twitter, but if you search Winning Sometimes, it'll get you there. Other than that, Ronan, anything you want to close on?
I definitely feel like with Destiny, I'm kind of in it for the long haul at this point,
Mm-hmm.
I still really enjoy it. I feel like I might miss a season or two here or there depending on my time and kind of where the state of the game is. But, I've been with it since, D1, and I like the characters, like the story. I'll probably stick with it. I mean, like you mentioned, give it a shot because it's free.
Yeah.
But note that there's like a lot of baggage kind of with it. That's kind of hard to get through if you don't know what's happening.
Absolutely. So, and I'm going to echo those statements. If you want to give Destiny a shot, go for it. It's not a bad game. I know we may have sounded a bit negative about it. But yeah, give it a shot if you want to. Other than that, next time we will be back to our more normal format. Hopefully Crack will be back with us again. Hopefully I have some stuff sorted out and we can be back to our normal stuff, and you can actually see all of our beautiful faces instead of just staring at me and me being bad at the game. But that's beside the point. All right. Well, we appreciate you tuning in. Again, if you made it to the end of the show, appreciate you even more. And we will catch you next time.
Bye.